And hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today we're just going to make sure that if you have Python installed and everything, we want to make sure it works, because if it doesn't work, then oh no, you have to reinstall or something. So how do you know it works? So here I created inside of my documents folder, I created a test.py folder. Now if we were to try and run that, it should display what's ever inside of it. So if you open it, I have Sublime Text installed. You can use VS Code or whatever you choose, even Notepad. I just have a simple code here that says print and then noobs. We'll get into what everything does, but for right now, just know that this prints something to the screen. Want to go to Tools, Build System, and then you want to create a new build system. This will create a text file like this. Then just put everything in that's here. Just copy this and then just paste it inside here. Then you can I'm not going to save that because I already have my own. Then you have to save it as python.sublimebuild. So let's actually do it so everyone knows what's going on. So you can go, that's only if you are in Sublime Text. If you're not in Sublime Text, you don't have to do this, but if you are, then I recommend you do. So then you can just save it as as Python free, however you want. I'm just going to leave it like this, because I already have it saved. And I'm going to close this, and then once you have saved it, if you press Ctrl B while on your Python tab, if you press Ctrl B, then it should print out the word noobs. Just note that the name doesn't matter as long as it has a .py extension. It should have a .py extension. Now, a good thing to note is that whilst Sublime Text has a great display, if you try and get user input in Sublime Text, it doesn't work that great. You don't need to know what all of this means. As you can see, it doesn't really do anything. It's really confusing. So what you do, then instead of using Sublime Text, you have to go Windows R and say CMD. Once you've said CMD, you can just type CD and where you want to go. So I want to go to Documents because I saved it inside of my documents. Then if you press there, right here is my test.py file, not folder. And then you can just go py and then test.py. If you run that, and let's say I put user input, and I do that, then as you can see, it displays input. So that is how you do it. You can also, inside of your console, you can just type py, and then you will have a virtual Python machine basically. So then you can type print, and we can go lol, and and then prints lol. So this is for very basic. If you use just this, it's for very basic programs. It shouldn't even actually be a program. It's just for testing. And this is if you want to run better applications. And this is universal basically. You can do this on Mac and Linux. They're just slightly different. Okay. So yeah, if you use Sublime Text, you can get user input using Sublime Text, but it's a little bit more difficult. I found it to be much more easier to just use the console. So yeah, it's optional. You do not need to use the console, but I do prefer using it. In terms of Linux, let's create our own little Sublime Text file here. Okay, so now we can just press Ctrl N, Ctrl S, and let's say in Documents we can just go test.py because I didn't create anything. Now if you use Sublime Text, then automatically you don't need to create a build system. It already has one for you. I tried creating one for Python 3 because this uses Python 2, so I wouldn't recommend using the inbuilt one, but print, and you go something like whatever that means, you press Ctrl B, it does it. But remember, this is Python 2, so some of the code here won't work. That's why you can always use the terminal and just cd into your documents or into the folder you saved it in, and say Python and free, and just say test.py, run it, and you get the same thing. Also, just like with Windows and Sublime Text, you cannot get user input. So if we go uns equals input You don't need to know what any of this means yet. We will go over it later on. Insert, and we don't actually need anything special. Build there again. We go ons. Save this, press Ctrl B, and we try and type anything here, press enter, nothing happens. That's why you don't use Sublime Text. But if you go here and you go up, you say insert, and then we can go lol, it displays lol. So yeah, you can just use Python 3 here again. So yeah, that is how you do it on Windows and Linux. I don't have a Mac, so I can unfortunately not show you how to do it on Mac. But yes, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and learned something new. See you all in the next